All right, welcome everybody. It is October 12th. This is, if I'm not mistaken, week 3 post EOS independence. Last week, we quickly got a check-in. There was a patch release out, 3.1.2, that was expected by the end of the week. We can get an update on how that went. Work in progress on 3.2 RC1 and Leap Util also was expected by the end of the week. ENF was working towards, can check in on March-April timeline for Leap 4.0. And we talked about the Blocks.log file survey that EOS Support has been sending around. And that as of last week, we had 8 responses. We can check in and see if there's anything more. So from the top, Stephen, maybe you can give us an update on these items here. How did that expected release go?
Yeah, so the patch release went out about midweek to late week last week, and then end of week, we got that RC1 for 3.2 out. There's absolutely a possibility that we have an RC2 follow up on there just because we've had a few small inconsistencies we want to tidy up. But so far, so good from everything else that we've seen. Other things that we anticipate in terms of releases, we'll have a CDT release either by the end of this week or early next week. We're just incorporating a little bit more of the follow-on work related to crypto extensions. So to some of the C++ wrapper work there, just adding in the final gaps. And there is a little bit of discussion around an EOS system contracts release, but it pins further internal discussion before we officially make that call. I know there was some brief discussion last week about some stuff that had been discussed in Telegram previously, and we were supposed to chat about it yesterday, but the meeting that we had dedicated to that actually got other priorities slipped in front of it, unfortunately. So the CDT release, just since I see you've typed it there, it'll be, I believe, a 3.1 release, if that helps for context. But that's kind of our update. 3.2 for Leap is out. We anticipate 3.1 probably by end of week for CDT. And then there's a possibility that we have an EOS system contracts release across the next couple of weeks.
All right. And this is RC1 with the possibility it will be also getting an RC2 at some point.
Yeah, I think that there's a decent likelihood of that.
All right. And do you have the link handy for that?
Yeah,
3.1.
I did have it open. Let me see if I can grab it right quick. There we are.
Beauty. I'll add that to the notes. All right. Anything else on the software dev side of things?
No, I think that covers it for us.
Great. Do we have Randall on the line? Looks like we do. Are you able to speak?
Yep, I'm here.
How's it going, Randall? Anything new to report on the Blocks.log file survey?
I think there was only one new person who filled it out. So pretty much, it's not like a great amount of numbers, but those who filled it out, people are saying that there's no need for chunked blocks.log file as it was implemented in EOSIO version 2.1. 6 developers said no need for that, and 4 developers said that they would like it, but it seemed like majority really don't care for it.
You're saying developers. Do you mean block producers? Because it's developers don't care about this. It's going to be exchanges or block producers that care about this. Who did you pull?
Pretty much, we just sent it to exchanges, and we sent it to block producers. But I didn't really look to see if the person was answering the question was a block producer or it's an exchange. But we sent it to exchanges and block producers specifically.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah.
And one thing I still haven't done that I said I would is, I know you've sent this to your newsletter group. Maybe we can do some, if we're not satisfied with the number of responses we have at this point, we can kind of do a little bit of door to door with the block producers that we have contact with. We'll reach out on WeChat and try to get at least the kind of the top 21 in good majority of them to fill out the survey.
That would be great. That's really what we're looking for.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll work on that this week.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else on that topic?
For now, I think maybe we just wait and see if we can get more block producers, especially the block producers in the top 21, if they want to fill it out, so that at least there's more
right.
information.
And you've got translated versions of these too, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Already, it's already translated in 3 languages: English, Chinese, and Korean. Great.
Yep.
So I'll circulate English and Chinese and Korean to those who need it.
No problem.
All right. So we'll check back in on that next week. That's all we really have discussed last week. And as far as I know, there's nothing really new to discuss unless anyone else has any agenda items to add for things to look forward to for either the next consensus upgrade or other kind of smaller updates we have coming along the way. Stephen, is there anything in particular we should be watching out for with this latest release? Things that you're looking for feedback on or testing in particular?
Yeah, so I don't think that there's anything too big that we should be concerned about testing. The one area where I think that there may be interest and curiosity is just that 3-strike rule related to, I guess, how CPU is being managed. I understand that specifically for Wax that there were some performance hiccups, and this was something that really helped alleviate that. Kevin has some great details on that if anyone has some further questions, since he's the guy who did the work. But otherwise, a lot of it is just backported work from the 2.1 release historically. So it would just be interesting to see if we've kind of fulfilled the things that you were looking for in terms of getting the best of that release into what is now Leap, since, of course, that was after when we had forked from.
Cool.
And Stephen, I was going to ask, last week I had mentioned there was some confusion about the branch of the MSIG contract. You had mentioned there might be some contract updates, I think, coming up. But, always, do whatever. But I know at least the last week there was still some confusion trying to get the right hash, although I do think they finally chased it down. But did y'all get a bearing and plan on kind of rolling all that back in?
I actually think I asked you to follow up with me if you had any more details to share. But I do know that we plan to have a discussion around a EOS System Contracts 3.2 release, and it may be related to that. Again, the discussion was scheduled for yesterday, but it didn't end up taking place since that meeting had another priority slip in front of it.
The most detail I had, I think I sent you a Telegram link, and I think I saw you join in there. So yeah, I assume it was just basically figuring out the right contract that was ultimately deployed on EOS, which everybody kind of says, well, it's working fine over there and tends to be what's on the others. But as we push a lot of these other chains, because a lot of them are going to be deprecating, deferred transactions and stuff like that as they go through all this. So I know one chain ran into it and worked their way through it, but if it gets rolled in, I think that was just the one confusing piece. And the time lock feature is working pretty well. Thanks, Danny.
You're welcome.
Gotcha. Sorry about that. I must have missed that you connected the dots there. So
it's fine. Main thing is y'all are aware of it, and like I say, put it on a bullet point on the system contract, but there was just some confusion. But I do think Eric had the right branch hash, and they got it to match. But Of course, that's a needle in a haystack using the right CDT in the right version. But so if you need some more details about which one, I think Eric probably knows more about it than me, but I could probably chase it down in some of the channels. But main thing is
right. And just for context, he's the person who's looking to bring the 3.2 discussion into the fold. We've just not made it happen yet. So I'll look to maybe comment by end of day on this thread just to give people an update. Sorry for the delay there, guys.
Cool. Thank you. Anything else to add today or new items to add? Great. In that case, I think we can wrap things up for the day. So we'll close it up. I'll put out the summary and the recording, and we'll see you all in a week. Thanks, everybody.
Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.